this could be the savior to Golden Boy Productions because they're hanging on by a thread. And you know what the name of that thread is? Canelo!
And he has voiced lots of displeasure with them recently, although they've got him one of the biggest deals in history of boxing with the zone, but he's expressed a lot of displeasure with them.
So he's their golden goose, golden boy, golden goose. Hey, wow, good segue. Wow, gee, but he's their golden goose, and he can't fight forever. And they have to have somebody coming up the pike if they're going to continue in this business as promoter. Ryan Garcia is that somebody. He could be the next golden goose. He could be the next golden boy. He could be the next Canelo because he's Latino. You have the great Latino market. He's got a great image. He knows how to fight. He hasn't fought anyone yet. I'll preface it with that. I'll qualify it with that. I always do if it's there to be done. He hasn't been tested yet, but he looks like he has talent. He has ability. He's a guy that's undefeated. He scores knockouts just like Davis does. People like that. And again, he's a good-looking kid. You could market this kid. You could build your company around this kid. You could let him be the successor to the throne, to the Canelo throne. That's how important this kid is and can be to Golden Boy Productions. He's their future. If they're going to have a future, they need this guy to win. So I don't know if they're going to put him in that fight too fast, but right now, he might be the next Canelo if he wins, and he continues winning, and he could be properly brought along. He could be the next Canelo. And what do I mean by that? I mean money. I mean pay-per-view money. I mean a guy that sells. He could be that. Now, Garcia at 21, physically he's different. He's wiry, like I said, a little bit like De La Hoya. He hasn't gotten his man muscles yet.
Yeah.
The 21-year-old hasn't really matured physically yet. He hasn't gotten that man body yet, those man muscles yet, so to speak. And listen, he might never get them. That might just be his physical makeup, that he's a wiry guy, and we've had plenty of wiry guys that were great fighters, great champions. Zarate, Arguello, Forster, the great light heavyweight champion, Bob Forster. I mean, we've had Tommy Hearns. I mean, we've had they're wiry guys. Usually wiry guys can punch. They get good torque, good leverage in their punches. They can usually punch, even though you think of punchers being muscular like a Tyson. But no, the wiry guys, they can be dangerous guys because, again, they get that leverage in their punches. So he's probably destined to be that kind of physique. But you still at a certain point do mature. Even with that, Tommy Hearns matured a little bit. Even with that, you still get a certain maturity physically. For Garcia, he has a signature punch. It's a real whip-like, sneaky left hook that gets inside of a right hand.
Yep.
Like if you start to throw your right hand and maybe lunge from a little too far away, he can beat you to the mark where he's got good vision, he's calm, he's standing at a good distance, where he has a good sense of distance, because for him to win the fight, he has to fight on the outside, and Davis has to get inside. And he's got a good sense of that distance and vision where he just, I don't know if you can see me, but bang, bang.
Yeah.
He just, like you start to draw that right hand too far, and he sees a little hole. He sees a little light, a little daylight, you know? And all of a sudden, boom,
yep.
Bang, bang. He just whips it right in there. It's a devastating punch. It's a spectacular punch. It's the punch that scored a knockout for him in the fight you talked about with Fonseca, right, in his last fight, I believe. And it's the punch that if he's going to move forward and be everything that people that back him want him to be, it's going to be a big part of his future, that punch. And looking to get Tank Davis in a position where he can catch him with it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of like Wilder has a signature punch, the right hand. He sets it up with the jab. He didn't do too good with it in the Fury fight, of course. But up to that point, that was his signature punch. Let me see. Who else has a signature punch? I don't know. I mean, I guess, well, Joe Frazier's punch was the left hook, of course. I guess if you said Canelo had a signature punch, I mean, he's pretty well-rounded now. He's improved a lot, like I said earlier. But maybe it's the left hook to the body. You know, he's got a pretty good left hook to the liver. Maybe that's his signature punch.
Mickey Ward had that left hook to the body.
Yeah, Mickey Ward, that was his signature punch. And the way he set it up, Ken, as long as you brought up Mickey Ward from Boston, I salute, Ken, that you got another Bostonian mentioned during our show. I salute Don Ken. And the way that he would set it up would be, he would touch up top. Again, I'm trying to line up with the camera here. He would touch up top. Am I good, Rob? Am I in a good position? He'd touch you here. Just touch you real quick, Ken, to get your elbow to come up just a little bit. And then, boom! He'd just touch it, bop, 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 bop. And then just whip it downstairs real quick and get it in there in the uncovered area. He was really, really.
I liked it when he would double up that body punch, the hook to the body. He'd throw one to the head and then two to the body.
Yeah. Listen, he finally got his due, and he got his $1 million fight with Arturo Gatti. God bless him. He's not with us anymore. What an action fighter he was. He was. If you gave him a nickname, it would be the Cardiac Kid, right? I mean,
for sure.
Because I think people called him that. But I mean, he'd be losing, and then he'd come back, bang, and he'd catch you. You know, he'd be on the floor, but he'd get up and he'd come back and grab you. But yeah, Mickey Ward, he used that punch to get to where he got to get to that $1 million fight, to get to the places that some fighters never get to.